Hello there and welcome to our channel. Make sure to stay tuned because in this video we will cover the 30 most asked questions about Costa Rica from 30 Costa Rica related Facebook groups. You can use the chapters to skip to any specific question. Without any further delay and in no specific order, let's dive right into it. Question number 30. What is the best place to see wildlife? Anywhere. Wildlife can be virtually seen anywhere in Costa Rica as it hosts over 6% of the world's biodiversity. But of course some places are more known to have the best chances to see the most wildlife. Places such as Tortuguero National Park on the Caribbean coast, Caño Negro wetlands up north, Manuel Antonio National Park on the North Pacific coast, and Sierpe mangroves in the South Pacific. Corcovado National Park in the Osa Peninsula is the largest of the national parks and hosts 3% of the world's biodiversity. Along with a large variety of birds, you can spot monkeys, sloth, and many more interesting creatures and critters. Question number 29. What is the best time to visit Costa Rica? Anytime. It really depends on what you want to see and where you are visiting. Costa Rica has multiple microclimates, so weather conditions may vary per location.
Make sure to bring some spare clothes, cause you might get wet.
During the green season, waterfalls and rivers are at their best and most of the flora will be in bloom, featuring 50 shades of green. The dry season runs from mid-December to April. Question number 28. Does it rain all day during the rain season? No. Again, depending where you are, the rain season in general is from around April to December, the wettest month being between September and November. In general, it will most likely rain in the afternoons, evenings and nights. Sometimes it can rain the entire day, but you can also experience several dry days in a row. The Caribbean coast experiences the driest months during the rain season peaks in the rest of the country. Question number 27. Should we pay for a guide in the parks? That depends on you. Taking a guide will enhance the chances of seeing wildlife, as they know where to go and where to look. They will also provide you with valuable information about the wildlife, the local flora, and about the area you visit. However, you can easily do it all by yourself. Make sure to start early, not just to beat the crowds, but also because that is when you will see most of the wildlife. Be quiet during your hike and pay close attention to your surroundings. Question number 26. Do we need a 4x4? Not necessarily. Depending where and when you visit. During the rain season and for off-road places it's highly recommended. However, we have been here for 4 years now and we have been to every corner of Costa Rica without a 4x4. And we really have been through some crazy places, shitty roads and dodgy pathways. Question number 25. Can you see it all in one trip? No, definitely not. To see all of Costa Rica in a hasty fashion, at least 8 weeks will be needed. 4 if you only do all the main highlights, and 12 if you want to have some relaxed time as well. Although small on the map, Costa Rica has a lot to offer and distances will likely take longer than you expect. But I will circle back to that in a little bit. Question number 24. What is the best way to spend 14 days in Costa Rica? Split it between 2 areas. My personal advice, and what most people do, is to spend a week in the La Fortuna area for tours and jungle adventures, and then spend the second week on the coast for beach and relaxation. Perhaps take up some surfing lessons, go whale watching, or just do absolutely nothing? Question number 23. Do the locals speak English? Mostly. Most locals speak between a minimum to a decent amount of English, especially in the service and tourist industry. Probably not so much outside of the touristic places though. However, it's always handy to learn some basic Spanish. We have a great Spanish course linked in the description of this video. Question number 22. Can I pay with dollars? Yes, almost anywhere. However, be aware of the daily exchange rate to make sure you don't overpay. Not everybody is good in math, while some are too good at it. Question number 21. How much money should I bring? Not too much. You don't want to walk around with stacks of cash. Bring some and withdraw from the ATM when you need more. There are plenty of them, and of course you can also pay with your card at most places. Having a couple of hundreds in cash with you should be more than enough to get through the day in case you can't use your card. And before we continue, here is a bonus question. What is the best place to get information about Costa Rica? Here on our channel. We have been traveling around Costa Rica since 2020 and have uploaded over 700 Costa Rica related videos and shorts, showing you the best places to visit, offering discounts on tours and creating the best itineraries. Question number 20. Is it safe to drive in Costa Rica? Yes. Of course, it also depends on your own driving. Costa Rica has a lot of winding mountain roads without any guardrails, dirt roads, gravel roads and tons of potholes, for which fast driving and driving at night is not recommended. Question number 19. Is it safe to travel Costa Rica as a solo female traveler? Absolutely. There are a lot of solo travelers, male and female, that enjoy backpacking through Costa Rica. You can meet them along your trails and join them on tours and expeditions or carpool to your next destination if you want. But doing it all by yourself is perfectly doable as well. Question number 18. What is the best itinerary for first-timers? That depends on your expectations. Splitting your time between the La Fortuna area and the Pacific coast can give you a great variety of spotting wildlife, doing tours, exploring the rainforest, national parks, volcanoes, waterfalls, surfing and beach time, giving you the pura vida vibe of Costa Rica. We have a playlist with 11 ready-to-go itineraries for all sorts of travelers. Check them out after this video. I will leave a link at the end. Question number 17. What is the best method of transportation? Rent a car. Renting a car will not be the cheapest option, but it will give you the freedom to do as you please, go where you want and when you want. If you plan to stay in one or two areas, you will find many other methods of transportation, such as shared shuttle buses, Uber, although not in every town, taxis, private drivers and of course public transportation. The latter is the cheapest but also the slowest. Of course, you can always see if you can share a ride with fellow travelers. We have rent-a-car options in the description of this video. Question number 16. When is the turtle season? There are various seasons depending on which type of turtle you want to see. The leatherback turtle can be seen on two locations in Costa Rica. On the Caribbean coast, where they nest from March through to July, and on the Pacific coast, where they nest from September to March. Green turtles nest between June and October on the North Caribbean coast, especially in Tortuguero National Park. Hawk-billed turtles nest in Cahuita National Park during September and October and can be found foraging in the Golfo Dulce. Along the Pacific coast, olive ridley turtles nest throughout the year, though on many of the beaches in Costa Rica the nesting is generally concentrated between July and November. Question number 15. When is the whale season? August to October and December to April. The humpback whale season in Costa Rica is from December to April and again from August to mid-October. The best place for whale watching is Uvita on the South Pacific coast, as it has a great abundance of humpback whales during both of these times a year. Conveniently enough, Uvita even has a whale-tail-shaped beach that submerges during high tides. Question number 14. Do I need to book the parks and tours in advance? Yes. All of the national parks are part of the SINAC. It's required to book your visit on their website. You only have to register once and you can book all of the national parks in Costa Rica from their platform. You don't need to do this weeks in advance. You can even do so the day before, the same morning or at the gates. Private owned parks and tours don't require previous booking, but it's highly advised to guarantee your spot and avoid disappointments. Question number 13. What are the best off the beaten path places? Caño Negro, Cerro Pelado, Cabo Blanco and the Stone Squares. Caño Negro is far up north, close to the Nicaraguan borders. These are the third largest wetlands in the world and a true birdwatching paradise. Cerro Pelado is an ancient volcano. A roughly 40-minute steep hike to the rim will allow you to reach the summit, from where you have views for days. Cabo Blanco is tucked away in the most southern tip of the Nicoya Peninsula and home to an abundance of wildlife and unique flora, besides a beautiful, exclusive, white-sanded beach at the end of the main trail. The mysterious stone spheres can be found in 4 archaeological excavation sites along with the museum in Palmar Norte. You can see various of the stones scattered around Costa Rica, where they are mainly used as decor. Question number 12. Are there any free and budget-friendly places in Costa Rica? Yes. There are plenty of free-to-visit waterfalls, hiking trails and other places. For example, there's a free hot spring in La Fortuna called El Chuyín. The earlier mentioned stone spheres are also free to visit, unless you take a guided tour, which is still low budget and includes the nearby museum. The Cerro Pelado is only $6 per person. Question number 11. Is an all-in a good idea for accommodation? No. All-ins are great for a relaxing holiday with little to no activities in the planning. The food is already paid for, so every day you spend outside of the resort, you're basically throwing away that money. In general, an all-in would run you roughly $100 or more per day per person, so you can do the math why that would be wasteful. If it's just beach and relaxation you're after instead of exploring the country, then an all-in is just right for you. Question number 10. What is the typical local food? Casado. The traditional dish of Costa Rica is casado, consisting of white rice, black or red beans, cooked vegetables or salad, plus your choice of protein, chicken, beef, fish or pork, and usually with a side of cooked plantains. Question number 9. Is Costa Rica an island? No. You're probably mixed up with Puerto Rico. Costa Rica is connected to Nicaragua on the north and Panama on the south. This is actually one of the most common mistakes people make and one of the most asked questions. Question number 8. Are there a lot of car thefts? Like anywhere else. Leaving valuables in the car is something you won't do back home, especially in plain sight. So why would you do that on your holiday and then be shocked when they break into your car? Costa Rica is the safest country in Central America, but common sense, like anywhere else, is required to avoid unpleasantness. You can get robbed in New York or Amsterdam just the same. Question number 7. Is Costa Rica a good place to retire? Yes. Of course, this depends on three main factors. 1. How high your pension is. Costa Rica is also the most expensive country in Central America. 2. How well you can adapt. The laid-back lifestyle is not for everybody. And 3. How much you're going to expect it to be just like home. A lot of expats complain about the lack of many things they're used to, forgetting that you're not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy. Question number 6. What is the deal with the driving distances? They are long. As previously mentioned, the road conditions in Costa Rica aren't the best. There's no highway infrastructure like you might be used to. There are many one-lane roads where one truck can cause a lot of delay, and let's not forget those potholes. The distance between two locations will take up longer than you plan, but the road towards your destination is often a highlight on its own. Question number 5. Do I pay the parking guy? Yes. Although it's not official, nor do they work for any company, these watchymen, as they're called here, do rely on that source of income. It is not an obligation, but it is customary. They will guide you to a parking place, watch your car and guide you back on the road, stopping incoming traffic. However, be aware, as some will try to scam you. 1,000 to 2,000 colones is more than enough, as again, it is customary, but definitely no obligation. Question number 4. Why choose Costa Rica as holiday destination? Why not is the better question. With lush green rainforests, 6% of the world's biodiversity, the laid-back pura vida lifestyle, a large variety of exciting and diverse tours, a bunch of volcanoes, and an infinite number of tropical beaches, Costa Rica makes a perfect holiday destination for all sorts of travelers. Question number 3. Are there crocodiles in the rivers? Yes. It is not recommended to swim in the rivers, as most of them will have crocodiles. You will be greeted by warning signs, but even if you don't take your chances. That said, Rio Tarqueles is known as the most crocodile-infested river in the country, making it the perfect spot to see them on a safe distance. Question number 2. Do I tip? Entirely up to you. This is very debatable. Service workers are underpaid, not just in Costa Rica, but anywhere else in the world as well. They mainly rely on tips because business owners pay them unfairly. However, that does not mean that you are responsible for their wages. Most places include a 10% service charge, but of course you can reward a good service with an extra tip. How much really is up to your own judgment. I personally see going out for dinner as an experience, and good service is part of that. If the staff spends more time on their phone than with the customers, and the food quality is average, rewarding them with extra money does not encourage improvement. And finally, question number 1. Can I just book a flight and plan on the go? Definitely. We have done so during our exploration around the country. The downside is that sometimes it can be hard to find the next connecting hotel nearby or for a reasonable price or at all. We had several experiences where we were still looking for a place to stay at 11 o'clock at night, leading to settle down for a higher price or further away destination from where we needed to be. Besides, of course, a wasted evening and a broken night. The plus side is that you have the freedom to stay at places at your own pace and change or adapt your itinerary on the go. With that being said, we have reached the end of our 30 questions about Costa Rica. Thank you for sticking to the end. If your question is still unanswered, feel free to put them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them, and I'm sure others would love to read them too. If you want to see the mentioned places, make sure to check our playlist as we have plenty of videos and shorts on a large variety of places and topics. Thank you for watching, and YouTube suggests you watch one of these two videos next. See you there!